Hello, welcome back to the workshop. Right, well, I'm just going to go and fire this thing up. This is the Stirling Kit Retrol beam engine I made in the last video, and then the video before that, well actually the video before that and the video before that I built it, and then as I did a box opening. And I also put this one together in a different video. The links to all these videos will be in the description. There'll also be a playlist. This is a paid promotion in that they supplied me with this for free to review it. So the first thing we are going to do is fill it up. The instructions are reasonably clear. It says add pure water through the water inlet. Now, just so as we're clear, the water inlet is here, the one separated by the washer. That, despite the fact it's being nailed and invites you to undo, it does not undo, and it does actually come with a spare one of those washers. So that's where we're going to be filling it up. We need to put meths in here, or alcohol. So that's going to go in there. That's slightly awkward. This is very awkward. To get that filled up, what I've actually got is a syringy thing that takes a tube, and the tube will actually fit in there. So the first thing we're going to do is fill that with, actually the first thing we ought to think about doing is talking about where you want to oil. You don't need to oil this here because that's a bearing. You will want to oil this here because that isn't. So I'm just going to drop a little bit of oil on there. These two are bearings. You probably do, no, that's got ball bearings, so you don't really need to oil that. There's already a bit of oil on here from when I put it together, so not a great deal that needs oiling. And there's no displacement lubricator, so you won't be able to, you will not be able to, you don't need to put steam oil in it. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to go and fill that with water. Put that tubey thing on there. I got this particular syringe off Amazon. I will put a link in the description. It is a little bit awkward to fill. And you want to fill this half to 3/4 full. So I'm just going to go and put some water in there. And you can just see the water level coming up there. And that is just under half full, and that was about 60 ml. Just going to stick in a little bit more, so it doesn't take a great deal of water. We just filled it just over half full. Chuck that in there. Blow that all out. And we are done with filling that with water. So I'm just going to drop the safety valve somewhere. It's not obligatory to drop the safety valve. Probably in fact better if you don't. Right, so this thing is a little bit awkward to fill up, so I've got myself a little one of these. And in actual fact that's going to be a bit awkward to fill up even from pouring from that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of mess in there and fill up a syringe, different syringe this time. Now it does say pure, at least 95% pure alcohol. Now that is way more mess than it will actually need. If I push it in gently in this hole, I will see it fill up. That's about 30 ml of mess, that will do. Now, something you need to bear in mind about meths, a little spillage there. The flame from meths is invisible in normal light. If it's in the dark you will see it, if you're not in the dark you won't. So we'll just let that wick up there. Meanwhile, we're going to put all the rest of the meths away, because what we do not want to do is have a meths fire, because you won't see it. And if you do have a meths fire, your best bet is going to be to smother it. Right, so we can put that right out of the way, and we'll put that right out of the way. And then we light this, if I can remember where I put the lighter. There we go. Oh, hold on. It's quite low, that is. Let me just blow that out and pull these up slightly. So how high these are out of the mess governs how big a flame you get. Right. And carefully, not spilling any mess, chuck that in there. And now we wait. And this is where I'm going to fast forward the video, but I'm also going to just quickly stick on my stopwatch so that I can let you know how long it took to fire up. Before I do that, this thing that you get goes under the exhaust here. Put that up slightly. And there it is under the exhaust. And just now this thing, when it rolls over this way, or it runs that way, that also runs that way. And when you start this thing up, you need this condensate drain open, which also means that that will turn freely. You can see how freely that turns. That will just get us, as soon as this is ready to fire up, once this is boiling, we'll go. So that's probably going to take a couple of minutes to fire up now. I haven't got the probably the there we go. Right, meanwhile, let me go grab that. Is the belt that drives that. In fact, it isn't, it's two belts that drive that, so I can put one of those away. So you get a spare belt with this kit. Will be a discount code in the description. Discount code Ben15 for a 15% discount, or Ben's Workshop for a 10% discount if that one doesn't work. Links in the description. It's all the way across their site. Move that far enough away, and then we'll put this back on. It is turning the right way. Then we switch it on. Right. That is already getting reasonably warm. So that's at 5 minutes. I think that's ready to blow. Turn that over. Hold on, we're just going to go and right. It's a bit damp around there. Let's see. Not quite hot enough to go yet. Get rid of that water around there. Right, so that's getting rid of the condensate down there. Close that. And off it goes. Just close that down and let that build up pressure a bit more. I'm also going to go and take the opportunity to just wipe this flywheel off. It's obviously quite cold. Ah, now that's interesting. That's got a leak down there still. That's problematic. Okay, we've got pressure. Well, that runs nicely. That's not working at the moment. That's a bit irritating. Why is that not working? Tell you what. That's better. Not turning fast enough. And there it is. Puffing away. There is a leak there, which does concern me a bit. That is a bit stiff. We can speed this up by yeah, there's a slight leak out of here, is where that's caused dripping down to there. It's not a problem. Right, let's get you a better view. Why don't we do that? you can see that it wants to be on that smaller pulley there. You get a little bit of flashing there. You are getting steam, and that's because if you look down there you can see the exhaust coming out down there out of this tube here. You can see the water gradually going down. You don't want to make sure you don't boil this boiler dry. Now if you were running this inside your house, you wouldn't have the problem with all this condensation on here. Isn't that a lovely thing? Reasonably easy to put together. The video for putting it together is in total an hour 13 minutes, and that's with me gassing. So if you want to see the full blow by blow account of how to do it, that's there. And I think we may be running out of mess fire. In fact we are. Let's just go and have a look. Yep, we pretty much have. So there we go. That is the Stirling Kit. You put my camera down there, the other camera. Right, so Stirling Kit, as I say, it is a paid promotion in the sense that they sent me this for nothing to do a review of it. Stirling Kit beam engine by Retrol. Discount code, affiliate links and all the rest of it in the description. That will get you money off. It works. The only thing is this here really is quite stiff. So that there is an irritating link there. I think that could possibly do with looking at, because it then leaks into this spot there. Not a big deal. Just thought I'd highlight that for you. Thank you for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Constructive comments in the description welcome. And if you use the affiliate links, I do get a little bit of earnings from it myself.